Hello everyone. In this class we are going to learn AWS EC2. We are going to cover all the topics like what is EC2, decoding the instance name, instance families, purchasing options and EBS volume. Let's get started. Okay, EC2 stand for Elastic Compute Cloud. In simple word, EC2 allow you to rent a virtual machine inside the AWS data center. Instead of buying physical hardware, managing power, cooling and networking yourself, AWS gives you a virtual server on demand. So you can control the OS, software and configuration. Okay, let's break down the name. So EC2 has the E, C and C. For the abbreviation, we call it 2. So E is an elastic. Elastic means you can change your mind at any time. Today you need 2 GB of RAM on the server. Tomorrow you need 200 GB. So you can scale up and scale down. C is for compute. Compute is the brain. It is the CPU and memory that actually runs your code, the processing power behind everything. And another C is for the cloud. Cloud means hosted AWS massive data center distributed across region and availability zone worldwide. The 2 in EC2 is just a clever way of writing cloud twice in the abbreviation. Okay, let's decode the name. Okay, breaking down T3A medium. I have given the example that T3A medium. T is a instance type family, 3 is a generation, A is a our process variant and medium is for the size of the instance. So T here is defining the turbo or general purpose family, great for everyday workload with occasional burst. Okay, the generation 3 is the generation, the number is the generation, higher generation always means better performance and lower cost and better preference as well. And you, if you have to pick, don't pick T2 when T3 or T4 is available. Okay, if you go with the A is the process variant, the option letter you the CPU architecture. A means AMD, I means Intel and G means Graviton. So it is basically the AWS ARM based processor. Let's go with the medium. Medium is basically the size, how much CPU and RAM you get. Okay, I have created the table that which shows size scaling, CPU and the RAM. So nano is for 2V CPU and 0.5 gigabyte of RAM, or you can see the relative cost is low. As you go down, so you can check that doubling the size, roughly doubling the price and the resources as well. So if you go with the 2V CPU and 1 gigabyte RAM, so prices get doubled. If you got with the large size, that you got the 2 gigabyte, sorry, 8 gigabyte of RAM and 2V V CPU, so prices then increases. Same goes with the 2x large. Okay, let's go with the instance family. Okay, we have a different instance family which is help you to decide which instance type you should choose. T family, M family, C family, R family, I family, G family and P family. So T is the bustable general purpose. They earn CPU credit when idle and spend them during traffic spikes. Think of them like a recharge battery. They are perfect for dev environment, small web app or anything with low average CPU usage but occasional peaks. Okay, best use for, it is best use for dev and test server or small blocks staging environment. Okay, you can avoid for the consistently high CPU workload, you will run out the credit. Let's go with the M family. M is a balance. You can deploy web server, app servers, microservices on it. It is balanced, so most of the production are lives here. Next, go with the C family. If your application using too much CPU power, so then you can use go with the C family. C is for compute or the CPU. So compute family used for the video encoding, transcoding, batch processing, scientific modeling, game server. And then go with the R family. R is for the RAM. So R is a memory optimized. The R family has massive RAM, great for application that need to keep large data set in memory rather than hitting disk. Use for Redis, MongoDB, large relation DB in memory caching layer. If you have the something related about the storage, then you can go with the I family. I is for the extremely fast local disk input output. It provide the SSD, like you have into the your laptop. So it is basically used for the Elasticsearch, Apache, high throughput NoSQL DB, and if you have something model training or real time interference or the graphic rendering, then you can go with the G or P family. Next is how to choose. Ask yourself, what is my bottleneck? CPU, C family, RAM, R family, disk, I family, GPU, G family, or P family. General, or you are not sure, then you can go with the M or T family. Next, we have a purchasing option. In purchasing option, we have a on demand, reserve instance, or spot instance, dedicated host. So first, let's start with the on demand. On demand means you pay for EC2 by the second. No commitment, no long term contract. On demand is like booking a hotel room for one night. You pay full price, but you can leave anytime. When to use? Testing, new project, short experiments, unpredictable traffic, development environment. You can use it. When not use? Long running production workload, because it become expensive. That's why. Okay, on demand gives you maximum flexibility, but it's most expensive option. Next, we have a reserve instance. So you commit to use an instance for 1 or 3 year. AWS gives you big discount. Reserve instance are like signing a 1 year rental contract. Because you commit long term, AWS gives you discount. Types: standard, convertible, or compute. Standard has the less flexibility but more discount. Means you cannot change the instance type, like you have created a T instance type, but you cannot go with the M or G or C. In case of convertible, you can change the instance type, like if you selected with the T and you want the C or M instance type, so you can change the instance type, but it has the slight less discount. In case of compute, it has the lesser discount, 66%, but has the highest flexibility, like you can change the instance type or you can change the region as well. Like I have deployed the virtual machine into the North Virginia region and I want in the Singapore, so you can change it. Next, we have a spot instance. Okay, so what is a spot instance? Unused AWS servers sold at huge discount. Spot instance are like last minute flight ticket, very cheap, but you might lose that seat. AWS can terminate that anytime. You get 2 minute warning. When to use? CI/CD pipeline, batch job, video processing, ML training, data processing. Mainly used for the processing, not for the production database, payment system, critical API, saving up to 90% cheaper. Spot is powerful if your workload can handle interruption. Okay, next we have a dedicated host. Okay, so dedicated host means entire physical server dedicatedly only to your account, no sharing. Normally, EC2 runs on shared hardware. Dedicated host gives you a full machine only for your company. When to use? Bank, healthcare, government, Oracle licensing, or strict compliance need. Like I was working for a company which has the maximum compliance, so they are mostly use the dedicated host because it was the legal company. They have stored some agencies data like FBI's, High Court, Supreme Court, this kind of data. So okay, dedicated hosts are mostly used by large enterprise for compliance and licensing reason. Okay, next is stop versus terminate. So we will cover this after EBS, and I will place after EBS in this file as well, ec2.md. So what is EBS? So EBS stand for Elastic Block Store. It is the persistent network attached storage used with EC2 instance. If EC2 is your computer, EBS is your hard drive. Okay, what is it stores? If it's hard drive, then it stores your OS, that is operating system, your application files, your logs, and your database data as well. Think of EBS like a USB drive, it in the cloud. You can attach it, you can detach it, and you can attach with the another instance. So that's how EBS also work. Next, what is characteristics of the EBS? So EBS has, I mentioned the four characteristics. First is persistent. So data survive. Even if you stop your instant, if you put the delete protection on the instance, oh sorry, on the volume itself. So even if you delete your instance, data in the EBS or the EBS volume will stay safe. Next is availability zone. So EBS volume exists inside a specific AZ. If your volume is created in US East 1A, you can only attach it to EC2 instance in the same AZ. Otherwise, if you want to create into the another AZ, then you have to create a snapshot first. So let's talk about a snapshot. So snapshot are point in time backup. It store the data or the backup of the EBS volume. I know that's I have mentioned. Actually, behind the scene, it store the data in S3 of your snapshot. So you can use that snapshot to restore data, create a new volume, or copy it to another region. So when you create a snapshot, it will restore it into the S3, and snapshot are essential for backup and disaster recovery. Like you want to do the migration into the different region, so you can create that volume snapshot and copy it into different region, or you can do the disaster recovery as well. So that in that case we use the snapshot. Now you want to encrypt your data, so there is a service called AWS KMS. So using that KMS, you can encrypt your data in the volume as well. Encryption does not impact performance or modern instance type. So you did not face any zero performance over or the on the modern instance. Next we have a EBS volume types. Okay, we have a different EBS volume types. So first is GP3. GP3 is general purpose SSD. Default you got that option if you are creating the instance. Okay, it has up to 16,000 IOPS. And what is IOPS? IOPS nothing, input output operation per second. So short form we called it IOPS. IOPS basically define the read write request a storage system handle per second. And next is throughput. Throughput is nothing, it means measuring the amount of data transfer to or from storage per second. uh, as you see, your hard drive also has some limit that much data can transfer from one to another storage. So that's same, this measurement are mentioned into the our notes that it can transfer the data 1000 MB per second. Next we have a GP2. Okay, GP3 is the new version, GB2 is the older one. So GB2 has the problem, like it has mentioned that max it goes to 16,000. By default you can get the 16,000 GP3, but in case GB2, you have to increase the volume size. That let's suppose it is using 10 GB and you want to 1600 GB, so you have to increase the size of the volume as well. So your max IOPS and the throughput will increase. Okay, it has a lower throughput. So basically you should use with the newer version than the legacy version. So ZP2 is your legacy version. Next is the IO2 block express. So IO2 block express is designed for critical database workload, very high IOPS up to 2,56,000, you can check, and high max throughput as well, like 4,000 mbps. There's a SAP tool, it can be used in the SAP HANA or the Oracle DB as well. If you have enterprise DB, like Oracle has the enterprise DB, so you can use there. Okay, the thing is it's expensive but necessary for mission critical system, so in that case we can use. Next one is ST1. ST1 throughput optimized SDD. Basically these are the SDD. It is just has the throughput optimized. As you can see, it has 500 mbps, which is enough. It is used for the big data, log processing, data warehousing. In that case you can use. It's good for large streaming reads and write, but not ideal for random database workload. Okay, if you are using for the reading the data or writing the data, you can use it. But if you get the random base workload, then you cannot use this. Okay, cold SDD, where you want You have data you access sometime, not every day. That is infrequently access. Then you can use as a archive called SDDs, and it has lower IOPS and lower throughput as well. So it is cheaper, but not built for the performance. So you can use the SC1, that is called SDD. Okay, I have give the pro tip that you should go with the GP3 over GP2. Next, we have a how to choose. I have also added for the volume, EBS volume. Like if you have OS booting or the general apps, then you can go with the GP3. GP2 is a older version, so I'm not counting it. Next is the high performance database. Then you can go with the IO2. If you have a sequential big database or the logs, you can use the ST1. If you have to archive the data, then yeah, or rarely access the data, then you can go with the SC1. I have mentioned some command, you can check it. Also, I have mentioned the cost estimator. Okay, I have mentioned the link below for the Amazon EC2 pricing. You can visit on that page and check the different pricing. Meanwhile, I have left one topic, so this one, instance stop versus terminate. So if your instance is in running state and you want to stop it, so what happened with the EBS data? So EBS data will be preserved. If you terminate the instance, so root EBS volume will delete. If you did not enable the protection, that delete on termination, keep it false. So this is all about in this video. So in this session, we didn't just learn what EC2 is. We understood how to think about EC2 like a cloud engineer. We also covered instance family, pricing model, storage type. These are the decisions that impact performance, reliability, and cost. In the next part, we will move from theory to hand-on experience and launch a real EC2 instance step by step inside the AWS console. So thank you. We will meet in the next video.